Hello and welcome back to Coding with T. In today's tutorial, we're going to learn how to create settings and user profile screen. Both are identical. So first of all, let's quickly have a look. Okay, so our application is running and this is the URL from where you can also test this application. Our data is being loading in the dashboard because user was already logged in or the admin was already logged in. So we have covered each and everything. We created all the designs. We created media, front and back end, banners, products, categories, brands, customers, orders, and coupons. The coupons are still in progress, and once created, we will also create tutorials on it. But for now, the rest of the things are already created, and in today's tutorial, we're going to work on profile and settings. These two things are very much same. So what I'm going to do in today's tutorial is I'm going to work on one thing which is profile or settings, and I will leave the other thing with you so that you can update them as an assignment. So what we have to do in the profile, you can see we have one image over here. By clicking on this icon, we are updating this profile image. And on the right side, we have a form. By clicking on this form button, we are updating this form information. So we have two things. We first need to fetch the information if there is not any. And once we fetch the information, we can update this information from here. So if you see the setting screens, again, this is the image of the app which is currently displaying over here as well. And when I'm going to click on this, we are going to display the media pop-up using bottom sheet, which is this one. And from the folders, let's select users. Currently they are empty. We have one image, I think, in the categories. Okay, we have a lot of images over here. Let's say we want to show this image, or as in the brands, let's say we want to use this image as our app image. So click on add and you can see it is loading, and also this one is loading. So that once updated, we have success message, we have updated image over here, and also on the left side you can see that image is also updated. The reason to display two loaders is when this operation is being performed, if you do not want to let the user to perform this operation as well simultaneously, then you can display a loader on both of them. But if you want to use simultaneous operations, then use different loaders. Okay, so we again, main things that we need to do is two operations. The first one is to fetch the data of the settings, display it over here, and then click on this update to update image or this data. And once updated, we're going to change these things from the sidebar menu. So I think we should work on the settings and you can create the profile. So let's get started. Okay, we are getting Flutter e-commerce admin panel and we are about to complete our playlist. If you are new, you can get the playlist link and complete code link is in the description, or you can visit codingwitty.com. So let's get started with today's tutorial. Okay, so we are inside our admin panel project. So in the features, we are not going to go for the shop because shop feature is completed, media is completed, authentication is also completed. In the shop, we only left with the dashboard. So that is the next video. Now in the personalization, first of all, if you see this screen, we have the design, and when we are going to open this design, it is going to ask the controller to load the data in the design. But controller is first going to validate and check if the data is available. He's not going to ask to the repository, but if the data is not available, he is going to ask the repository to fetch the data from Firestore. And we have to again map the data on top of model from JSON to the model, and repository will send that data back to controller. Controller will display that data or assign that data to variables which are observable variables, and whenever there is change in the observables, design will be automatically updated. So these are the four things again we need to create. So first of all, the model. If you see the model, you already know the user model, which is familiar for you. So I'm not going to go to the user model, rather go to the settings model. In the settings, we have these things. We need to create text fields for them. So with text rate, shipping, free shipping threshold, and app name. So these are the text fields. App logo is the image. So we will create a separate icon for it. This is its constructor. JSON, when we are going to send data back to Firebase, this is how our JSON is going to look like. And for the settings model dot from snapshot, when we're going to receive data from the Firebase, we are going to pass it over here to change it to the settings model from JSON and return this model back to from where it is called. So we use this function to convert the data. And also, if you want to see the user model, this is the JSON function which is going to update its information, and also this is the user model that is going to receive the information of that user. So Once the user model is created or the settings model is created, let's go to the controllers, open the settings controller. It has nothing to do with the abstract class, so do not worry about anything. We do not have any tables inside this class, so just create settings controller, extend with the getX. In this, we have only one loader. If you want to again use separate loaders for the button and for the image, or for the form and the image, then you can use two loaders, but we are using only one loader here, which is observable, and definitely whenever the loading state is changed, UI will be updated. Then I have the settings model, a copy of the settings model to store all the information, and also it is observable so that if we update anything about the settings, we can update the settings. We assign the new settings, we update anything in the settings, so the UI should automatically be updated. Then we have a form key for the form, and we have these four things for the form to use as a text field. One is app name, then text controller, shipping controller, and free shipping threshold controller. Then dependencies, we have settings dependency or the settings repository in which we're going to perform our cloud operations. So we need to see this repository. So this repository is going to work on the collection of settings in which we're going to have a document, not a random ID this time, but we're going to use the specific ID called global settings inside our settings collection. So to register settings, we have to pass the settings model. We will call our settings using Firestore dot instance, and in the settings collection, go to this document and set the settings dot to JSON. If we want to get settings, we need to call again settings dot this document. Whatever is inside it, return is, because this is only one element with the hard coded document ID. We do not need any loops or the documents using map property, but we just call the settings model dot from snapshot and pass this snapshot. Then to update settings detail, this is what you need. Using settings model, we first have to go to the collection, find this document, and update whatever is inside this using JSON. You can also update single field using map, pass that directly JSON over here, and that JSON will be updated. Now, first of all, if you want to, you cannot update the settings until they are inside your database. So when you want the settings to be created, I want this settings collection to be created whenever we are going to register the admin. So if I'm going to show you this one, currently it has no instance, means register setting is not being called and we are not registering the settings. And in order to register settings, when the admin is going to be registered, we have to go to authentication controller, and in the login controller, if you remember, we created this register admin function, and inside that function, whenever this create user is going to create this admin, once this admin is created, we are going to use this settings repository and also this model. Call the settings repository or create its instance like this dot call the register settings method, and in that we have to pass this dummy information settings model so that our settings model now registered, or you can call it as a setting collection is added inside our Firebase database. Now user can easily update that record, because while registering these settings, we are going to add this document inside our settings collection and we will be able to update this. So once repository is created, let's close the login controller. In the settings controller, we have all the variables. We have the repository instance, and when the settings controller is going to be created, we are going to call this fetch settings detail. It will start the loader to true and will call setting repository dot get settings. We'll store the local settings in the global variable, which is observable. And also when we have the data in this settings or in this one, we will extract all that data and assign to these controllers. So app name, text rate, shipping, and shipping, free shipping threshold, all these values will be assigned to these text editing controllers so that we can display them in the text editing fields. Loading will be false. Then as I told you, we only have two operations to do. The first one is to update app logo, and the second one is to update settings information, right? So to update the app logo, I'm again using the same loader. As you can see, the same loader is using to update the settings information. So let's say I'm going to call update app logo. So how we are going to update it? We are going to simply call loading to true. Using media controller, we are going to display the bottom sheet, which is inside this select images from media. And again, if you want to watch that how this is working, you can better watch the media section of this playlist. Inside this function, we have get.bottom sheet that is going to be displayed, and we have media uploader and media content section. Okay, once we have the selected image, we will get the first selected image, and we will simply call our settings repository dot update single field, and we only want to change, we will actually sending the JSON and which key we want to update. We only want to update the app logo. So if you see this, or even if you go to the settings model, you should have to write the same key which you are using to store the data already in the database. Otherwise, it will create a new one instead of updating. So it will go to the app logo key and it will update the URL you just received inside your database. And once updated, we also have to update this settings app logo with the new URL and simply call the refresh. So we can redraw the design, because when we're going to assign something inside these variables are not observables. Only the settings is observable, right? So for that, we have to forcefully call the refresh method to refresh the UI. And to update settings information, we have to check if we have the internet connection on, start the loader, if the form is valid or not. We do not want to store anything that is not in the validation. And then what we want to do, we want to extract all the information from the text editing controllers back to this one, which is settings variable dot app name, text rate, shipping, and free shipping threshold. Once we have all these new values assigned inside the settings, to update the data, we will call setting repository again, and we will call update settings detail, which require the complete model, and we will pass the complete model like this, and then simply refresh, because due to the new data assigned. Close the loader, display a success message. In case of exception, we are going to display the exception message. And once the controller is created, go to the screen, go to the settings. In the main settings, we have these three layouts. Go to the desktop layout, and in here you can see we are not doing anything because we have separate widgets. The first widget is image and metadata. Open this one, which is inside the widgets image meta. So we need to create settings controller dot instance. If you have not created instance already, you need to call get dot put here and pass settings controller. So once we have the controller in the image uploader, we will create this icon. We have the on icon button press. When this icon is going to be pressed, we will call controller dot update app logo, which is going to first display the bottom sheet, and then we're going to assign the selected image to our database. But you can see this is the new variable that I have added. If you open the T image uploader widget, inside I have created a new thing, which is this dot loading is equal to false. And as a position of child, instead of simply displaying our circular icon, I am checking that if loading is true or false as a child. If it is true, we're going to display the circular container in which we have circular progress indicator. And if loading is false, we're going to display the actual icon, and which has on press. When on icon button press is going to be triggered, which is this one, we're going to call the update app icon. So image type, if we have something inside the settings app logo, then image type will be network. And also down below as an image, we're going to display whatever is inside the app logo, otherwise asset image with the default image. Then just for displaying the name as an obx, we have controller dot settings dot app name, because while fetching, this app name will be empty, and once the data is loaded, obx is going to update the name inside the app name. And also when we're going to update our app name from the field, we definitely want to update this settings, and we are already updating in the controller. Once updated, this obx is again detect a change using settings.refresh and will redraw the text with the new name. And if you want to see a form, again need an instance of the controller, assign a form key, and create all the text form fields. This is a controller for the app name. Then we have controller for the text controller, shipping controller, and free shipping threshold. If you want to make sure that all these values must be added, then use a validator as required. Then we have a button which is update app settings, and when controller.loading.value is true, we are going to start circular progress indicator. Otherwise, we're going to display the text. And also for the on press, we're going to check that if loading is true, we will have an empty method which cannot be pressed. And in other case, we will simply call update settings information like this. And based on these two widgets, we will be able to now see our settings. Let me run it in the Chrome. Okay, so our application is running and we are logging in the dashboard. If I'm going to click on the settings, remember we do not have settings stored inside our Firestore database. So let's click on it and you can see settings controller not found. Okay, settings controller not found. This is the error which should not be here because we have not created the instance. So open the project, go to bindings. In the general bindings, create get.lazyput instance, something like this. So let's rerun this application. Okay, so we are inside the dashboard. Now let's go to the settings and you can see we have no image over here. App name is the default, means no app name, no text, no shipping cost, and no free shipping threshold. Now, if I'm going to select on this, you can see media appeared. Let's try to select some category. We have one image in the category. Select it, click on add. You can see it's loading, but we have the error because there is no such document in which we want to update this. So for that, again, we have to open the project and go to authentication in the login screen or simply in the login form. Scroll at the bottom. We created this widget to register the admin and we want to register this admin again. But before registering the admin again, remember that you have to delete that email which is already registered as an admin from your Firebase authentication. Otherwise, it is not going to allow you to re-register that admin. Okay, we are inside our Firestore database, and in here you can see we do not have any collection called settings. And inside authentication, if you see, we have this email with which we are logged in, testme at codingwith.com, which we created while registering our admin. So we have to delete this from these three dots, click on delete account, click on delete. And once that one is deleted, we can go back to the project, click on logout. And from the code, because now register admin is being called, so we have to, instead of writing this as sign in, let's write it as register admin and refresh it. Now you can see we have register admin, and by simply clicking on this, because if you see the register admin function, we already have ttext dot admin email and password already created in the ttext, which is located in the utils constants over here. If you want to add your email or passwords or you want to change them, you can change them over here. And now when I'm going to click on this register admin, you can see it is registering admin account and that admin is now again registered. But this time when I'm going to go to the settings, you can see we have a name already written, which is my name, means this thing is working. And inside Firestore database, you can see we have a new collection of settings with the document ID global settings. And in that we have default global settings created. Now we can easily update this data. So let's close it. Now let's select the image. Select this image from the media pop-up and click on add. You can see it's loading again and that image is now updated. We can see this image, but we also want to trigger the change whenever the image is updated or this app name is updated. We want to display it on the top of this sidebar. We can also try to change these things. So let's try the name as T Store, tax rate, which is 5%, shipping cost is $100, and free shipping will start when the order crosses 500. Let's try to first update this as well. And you can see settings quickly updated. Okay. Now we want to also update those things inside our sidebar. For that, go to common widgets and look for the layouts. We have a sidebar. Open the sidebar to dart. We simply need to update this T circular image. So to display a name and the logo, we need to create a row first. Also, I have created the row over here, and inside the row we have T circular image, which we want to update. Make sure to wrap it with the OBX widget. And in order to display the image this time, previously it was static image asset, but now to make it dynamic, we're going to go for settings controller dot instance dot settings and find the app logo. If is not empty, then we want to make the image type to be network, and same check is over here. And if it is not empty, we want to display the app logo, otherwise the default logo that we are using. And same we are going to do for the name. We will use the OBX on top of the text with an expanded so that our text should not be giving us any kind of exception inside the row. So settings controller dot instance dot value dot app name. So whatever it is, we want to display it as it is. This is the design of the text. And now let's save the code. Also, currently we are seeing to register admin again. So let's comment it back and go for the email password sign in. And we have the sign in option. Use the same email and password. Click on sign in. Okay, so our application is running And you can see now we have that image and the name of that app on the left side on the top of our sidebar. So let's again go to the settings. You can see the image. We also have all the updated information. And now same way when I'm going to go for the profile, currently it is not implemented. We have to use the user controller like we did before. So I will show you. So first of all, make sure that user controller is added inside your bindings. Then go to the personalization controllers and open the user controller. This is how our user controller is going to look like. We have first name, last name, phone number. This is a user. We have a user repository, and on init we are going to fetch all the user details, assign back to the user. Update profile information will remain same, each and everything. Just we have to call user repository.update single field and make sure to use the exact keys as you have inside your database. Then to update user information, this is how it is going to look like. Once the controller is created, go to the screens and first of all see the form. In the form, we are going to first exactly assign. You need to call the controller and using controller dot user value, you have to get first name, last name, and phone number from the current user who is logged in. Assign it back to the controllers. You can also do it same like we did inside the on init function. And once done, create a form key, assign it over here using use the text rendering controller for the first name, last name, and for the phone number. And down below you have to use the loader controller dot loading. If it is not loading, user can click on update user information, otherwise it will display a loader. In the update information, this is what it is going to do. And in the second widget of image metadata, it is again very much same, just we have full name and email with OBX. So that's it. If you want to update the user image, you have to go to the common widgets and go to the styles again, sorry, the layouts, headers, and in the header.dart, we have the user profile picture over here, so which already is using the obx method. For that you do not have to do anything, so let's run it. So let's see this time if the profile is created or not, because we added that inside our general bindings. And you can see our profile is working, all the data of the user is loaded, and this image is the dummy image. We have name, email. Let's click on this one. Let's select the same image because we only have the one image, so click on add. It is uploading, and now you can see I have changed the user image and it is selected as you can see from the top. And this is the user image, this is name and email. You can also, if you want to change it, you can click this icon to change the user image. And in the profile, if you want to update the first name and last name, let's name it T Store Admin. And as a phone number, I'm going to add the phone number like this. Click on update. Profile is updated, and at the top you can see now we have the T store, and also over here we have T store admin. So this is what we wanted to create, and by this way we are almost done. In the next tutorial we're going to talk about how we are going to fetch all these details dynamically. As if you see, just for the overview and for you to think on these things, we have the recent orders that we're going to display. So 10 recent orders are enough. We will simply call the order screen, and in the order screens we have all items, right? So we will fetch all the orders, assign all the orders in the orders class again, so that we do not have to fetch again and again, one for the orders, one for over here. We also have the weekly sales, and we're going to get the weekly sales based on the orders. We need to get 7 days weekly sales. And then also we have sales total also coming from the orders, average order value coming from the orders, total orders, number of visitors coming from the users we have over here, or you can call it customers. So see you in the next video. Once again, thank you for watching, and if you have any question for these tutorials or for the previous videos, you can ask me down below in the comments. Thank you and take care.